How can I completely understand that I am God, that I am divine, and as a result of that, fully love myself and express myself even more? Okay, I would say you don't need to understand that you are God to love yourself. You can start loving yourself even without having this knowledge. And you can start expressing yourself again even without having this knowledge. Because I think to love ourselves only because we are God is like saying, well, I love me because I'm God, otherwise I wouldn't love me. So love you without knowing this. Love you anyway. Now, let's talk a bit about how we are God, because I get a few emails every now and again, people wanting me to talk about the connection that we have with God. And I answer back with, I don't know what to say. There is no connection. We simply are God. So I'm going to use an analogy I read in a book many years ago. Look at this picture in front of you. We are a wave, and God is the ocean. The wave is not separate from the ocean. It is the ocean. It is a part of the ocean. There is no connection between the wave and the ocean. See, you need a connection to connect two things that are separate. But the wave and the ocean are not separate at all. So they don't need a connection. This is exactly how we are. We are not separate. Now, when the wave is heading for the beach, it is focusing on the beach. It is focusing on the sand it's going to hit. So, during those brief moments of focusing on the beach, it might forget that it is part of the ocean and becomes more of an individual. Each wave, by the way, is an individual. No two waves are alike. No two waves have ever been alike, and no two waves ever will be alike. And this is what's happening to us. We are focusing, in this case, on survival. So we forget that we are always connected with the source, with Prime Creator, with God, whatever, with the universe. Whatever word we want to use is okay. And then the wave hits the beach and comes back into the ocean again. Gives up its body, which was the wave, and now is only consciousness back in the source. It is still separated. It simply doesn't have a body. So we humans cannot see this difference with our physical eyes. But while the wave is in the ocean, it is still a separate consciousness. An individual consciousness, not separate from the ocean, but it is still an individual consciousness with individual memories of having hit the beach, having felt the sand. It talks with other consciousnesses in there about its experience of hitting the sand, gets excited and says, I want to do it again. Takes another body, slightly different than the one before, and goes for the beach again and again. And the more times it does it, it amasses different experiences. And then another wave would say, have you tried the rocks? The rocks? Oh man, you should try the rocks. Unforgettable experience. You make all this noise. You splatter all over the place. And then you find your pieces and come back together again. This is exactly what we humans do. Only that we complain when we hit the rocks, instead of saying, wow, now that was an experience. We're done and we go back into this energy we call God, but we do not dissolve, we do not disappear. We still keep our memories and we still keep our consciousness. We keep our individuality. And then we could either do it again or just stay there. And in many cases, not all, but in many cases, give advice to other parts of this source that want to hit the beach or hit the rocks. So this is how we are God. We are not connected to God. We are God. There's no way we can ever be connected to God because we've never been disconnected. And there's many different parts of this God, of this one source. Just like the waters around the Bahamas are different from the waters around Iceland. But they both belong to the same body, the Atlantic Ocean. That's how we are all different, but at the same time we belong to the same body. So let's see what else. How can I completely understand that I am God? You know what? I don't know how you can completely understand it. I understood it simply because it made sense to me. I was raised in a religious family, and of course in religion God is always separate from us. And that's what I knew, that God was separate. However, when I read that we are God, simply different parts of the same God, it just felt true. I didn't do something to understand it, I just felt it. So I don't know what advice I can give you about how you can understand that you are divine. I think I can give one more little example. God and the universe are one thing. They're not two separate things, which means everything that exists is automatically God. Maybe if you can understand it this way, it might be easier for you. Nothing can exist that isn't God. Absolutely nothing. All those bad things we see happening in the world, they are also God. And this is why we keep getting told to see the bigger picture. Don't panic. Don't get angry. Simply see the bigger picture, that everything is God. I think I will leave it at this. I don't have anything else.